Hey everybody, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria and today we're practicing yoga for men or yoga for male identifying humans. Before we get started, just know that there's nothing different or secret about this practice that makes it especially for men. All the practices on my channel are meant for any gender identification or any gender non-identification. What I am doing in this video is addressing some of the things that I hear from men that they want to target in their yoga practice, and those things are shoulders, hips, and legs. So if you're also wanting to target those things in your practice, come along, grab your mat and 2 blocks if you have them. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and let's get started. Alrighty, my friends, come to your mat or whatever space you've created and come to stand on the knees to start out. And then from here, tuck your toes behind you, and you can even lean back and catch the toes and kind of get them underneath you, and then sit the seat back on the heels. And this is going to start to get a little intense in the back of the feet, so we'll get started. Interlace the fingers and then flip the hands away from you, or the palms away from you. Lift the arms up and overhead, wiggle the sides of the waist long. Yeah, then find neutral and just gently release the fingers. Take the arms to the side and down, nice and wide, and see if you can catch opposite elbows behind the back. If you just catch hands or wrists, that's fine too. And release, bring the hands to the front again. Interlace the fingers again. Make sure it's the opposite way. I know it's starting to get intense. Press the palms away from you. Lift the arms up and overhead. Wiggle the sides of the waist long. And then loosen the fingers, release the arms wide, and catch opposite elbows. See if you can catch the opposite elbow. Yeah, and then find broadness across the chest. Release the arms and take the hands to the mat. Untuck the toes. Yeah, release here a little bit. Good. And then make sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders. The hips are stacked over the knees, just a classic hands and knees here. And we're just gonna start to make little hip circles. So we'll take about 3 to 5 circles. So choose one way and start to circle the hips. Go ahead and start a little small, and then you can build the size of your circle, maybe even bringing the seat all the way down to the heels. Yeah, take one more on whichever side you chose. And then pause in the middle and we'll go the other way. Yeah, beginning to make the circles a little bit bigger. Take one more going this way. And find hands and knees, come back to center. From here, tuck your right toe behind you. And then just press into the heel a few times here, opening up the back of the leg. Yeah, and then come to the ball of the foot. Lift the heel up so the heel's almost in line with your seat. And then carry the leg over to the left. So the right foot's going to cross over the left leg, and then find the ground or the floor with that foot. And then again, pulse a few times into your right heel. So the straight leg. And just notice that you might have a little bit of opening or tension in the outer left hip. So that's what we're trying to target here. And then come back and tuck the right toes behind you. And then press through the right toes and begin to lift the hips up. Press through the hands, and you're going to cross the left foot over the right, or the left ankle over the right. So you're in a downward facing dog with crossed legs. Let the head fall heavy. From here, begin to walk the hands towards the back of the mat. Put a nice bend in the knees if you need. And then you'll walk your hands over to the left. Let the head fall heavy. Stay with your breath. Try not to hold the breath here. And come back to center. Walk the hands over to the right just for good measure here. Stay with the breath, keep breathing. And then bring the hands back to center. Walk the hands, actually keep the hands here, just uncross the legs where they are. Put a nice solid bend in the knees, keep the feet a little bit separated, and just fold over the legs. Let the head fall heavy, shake the head no, open and close the mouth. And then walk the hands back forward out to a plank pose, top of a push-up. And lower the knees to the mat. Tuck your left toe behind you. Go ahead and press through the heel like this, opening up the calf muscle a little bit. And then come back to neutral, lift the left heel in line with the left seat, and then cross the foot all the way over to the right. So it'll cross past the right foot. And then from here, go ahead and take those pulses again. Pressing through the heel at your own pace. It might feel better to go a little bit slower. You could even make little bitty circles here as well. You should feel it a little bit in the outer right hip. Good, and then come back to center where you were. So you've got the right knee on the ground, the left toe tucked. Press through the hands, lift the seat up, and find a cross-legged down dog. The right ankle is crossed in front of the left. Yeah, keep a nice bend in the knees. And then walk the hands back towards the feet, just one handprint at a time. Again, really keep the bend in the knees and just walk the hands over to the right. Let the head fall heavy. You've got blocks here as well, so if the hands for any reason don't reach the ground, go ahead and bring a block or any sort of prop. You know, if you're working at home, you can use the edge of the couch or a chair, whatever's nearby, to bring your hands a little bit closer to you or to bring the floor closer to your hands. Come back through center and walk the hands over to the left. And come back to center, uncross the legs, find a little space between the feet, so maybe 4 or 6 inches, and just soften the knees and let the head hang heavy. Just a gentle fold over both legs. Let the head go, shake the head no, unclench the jaw, keep the eyes soft here. You can even straighten one knee and then the other. Walk the hands forward, find a plank pose. And then just find a regular down dog. Let the head fall heavy again and pedal out the feet. So bending one knee and then the other, just opening up the whole backs of the legs now. Very nice. Find a little stillness and then roll to plank pose again, the top of that push-up. Look forward and then bend the elbows straight back and lower all the way to your belly. Untuck the toes at the bottom. Tee the arms, so the hands just extend directly from the shoulders. And then you'll tent the left hand. So bring the pads of the fingers to the mat, kind of underneath the elbow. And you're going to start to roll onto your right side. So the legs will stack. And right away you'll feel an opening in the right pec and shoulder. If this is too much, move the hand, save the hands at 3 o'clock now, move the hand to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. So moving the hand closer to the body. And then you have an option to float the top leg, bend the knee, and take the foot behind you. That'll increase the intensity of this. Otherwise, you can stay with the feet stacked. Stay with your breath. Try not to hold the breath here. And then roll back onto your belly. So we're going to take the other side. So tense your right fingertips, the elbow kind of points up to the ceiling, and extend your left arm long. So the hand again comes directly out from the shoulder. Unless you know you're really tight in the shoulders or the pecs, you can take the hand, say this we're at 9 o'clock now, you could take it to 8, 7, 6, closer to the body. And then begin to turn yourself onto the left side, stacking the feet. Let the head relax onto the mat. So no strain in the right side of the neck to hold up the head here. And you can float this top leg, bend the knee, and take the toe behind the back. Keep breathing. Yeah, if it feels pretty spicy, you can kind of lean off of it a bit. Again, you can take the hand and the arm closer to the body to de-intensify this. Otherwise, try to stay with it. Try to breathe. Maybe even thinking about sending breath to the area that has the most tension. And then if you have the foot behind you, stack the feet and let's roll back over onto our bellies. Great. From here, extend your left arm directly in front of you and just roll yourself onto your back. Go ahead and bend both knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. And then take your left foot up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the leg. And keep pressing that left heel up towards the ceiling or the sky. If your hands don't reach, you can grab a towel from the kitchen or the bathroom to make this space a little bit longer. So if the leg's kind of at a diagonal, that's totally fine as well. And then just bend the knee and flex the foot and straighten out the leg and point the toe. Do this a few times. Yeah, you can kind of go at your own pace, slow or pumping the leg a little bit more. Great, and then the next time the leg is straight, keep it there. Use the belly to lift the head and the shoulders, so a little bit of a sit up, and walk the hands up the leg. If you have the strap, you might shimmy the strap up so that the arms are reaching up a little bit more. Stay with the breath. And then keep the hands where they are. Try to keep the leg where they are, where it is, and lower the head and the shoulders back down to the mat. If you have any strain in the hamstring or in the calf muscle, you can take your fingers there and massage a little bit, or just release this a bit or bend the knee. So try not to have strain in the leg. And then from here, bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest, and then cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Just let the legs hang out here for a moment. And then eagle wrap the arms. Take your left arm underneath the right. And so the backs of the hands can press, or you can cross at the wrist and press hands. From here, take your fingertips up and over the head as much as they'll go. Keep the head where it is. So we're just lifting the elbows up towards the nose. Hands reach over the head. Maybe they tap the mat. Just take them as far as they'll go, without straining, without creating like a spasm or something like that. And then bring the elbows back, unwind the arms. Just take the arms to a wide T for a moment. Good, and then pick up the right knee, bring the knee in towards the chest. You can interlace behind the ham or the thigh, or take the interlacing on the shin. Keep the left foot flexed. A simple figure 4 here. You may have done this shape before. Yeah, you can rock side to side here. Maybe even make little circles, keeping it fluid. If you make circles, make sure you go both ways. Good, and then release this. Hug the left knee into the chest and extend your right leg long. From here, your left hand's gonna come to the outer edge of your left knee, or a little below the knee, and the right hand's gonna come to the outer right ankle or outer left ankle. So then move your left knee towards your sternum or the center line of your body, and then play with just lifting the foot a little bit here. So we're targeting a specific muscle in the outer left hip. Go ahead and flex your right foot. Keep that leg engaged. Good, and then hug the knee back into the chest. Bend your right knee and cross your ankle over the right knee once again. From here, let both knees fall over to the left and catch opposite elbows overhead. Yeah, so the weight of the left foot kind of heavies the right knee towards the mat. We're used to kind of externally rotating the legs and stretching to stretch the outer hips, but we want to internally rotate the legs too. The position of the right leg is an internal rotation. So it's making sure that we've got balanced, even hips. Yeah, and then see if you can put your left forearm on top here, making a mental note, and then we'll switch to make sure we have the other one on top for the next go. And then lift the knees back up and uncross the left leg. Lift your right foot up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the thighs. This time take the opposite interlacing if you can. And then bend the knee and flex the foot, and straighten the leg and point the toe. Keep your left knee bent and the foot on the mat. Do this a few more times with the right leg. Bending and straightening, bending. And then the next time it goes straight, keep kind of a flex in the foot here. Lift the head and the shoulders. Use the belly, and then walk the hands up the leg just a bit. And if you've got that towel, you can slide the towel up as well. Yeah, staying here. And then keeping the hands and the leg where it is, see if you can then lower the head and the shoulders. So the leg might come a little bit closer to the face, but try not to have strain in the leg here. You can use the fingers to massage the back of the leg a little bit. Otherwise, if it's a lot of strain, soften the knee, or just take the leg further away from the body. And then hug the knee into the chest and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Just let the legs hang out here for a moment. Eagle wrap the arms. The right goes underneath the left. Back of the hands press or hands press. And then reach the fingertips up and over the head. You might even have to smash the nose a little bit to do that. Or you can see if you can fit your nose in between the upper arms. Yeah. And then bring the elbows back and unwind the arms. Just take a big wide T with the arms here for a moment. Release. Hug the left knee into the chest. Interlace the hands. Again, opposite interlacing behind the thigh bone or the shin. Keep the right foot flexed and pull the left knee in towards the chest. And then again, you can rock side to side or take circles. If you take circles, make sure you go one way and then go the other way. Very nice. And then release the left foot back down to the mat. We're going to take a slightly different order here, slightly more efficient. Let both knees fall over to the right. And take the elbows overhead. This time the right forearm stacks on top of the left. Or if you made a note of whichever forearm was on top last time, take the opposite of that. I always forget, so I have to call it out. And just breathe. So this time the left thigh bone is internally rotating. And you've got that, just feel the weight of the right foot heavying the left knee towards the mat. Yeah, and if there's any pulling or strain in the knee, just come out of this a little bit. All right, and then bring your knees back to center and hug the right knee into the chest. Use the hands to hug the knee in and extend your left leg long. From here, the right hand's going to come to the outer edge of your right knee, a little bit below the knee, and the left hand's going to come to the outer right ankle. Carry the knee towards your center line, towards the sternum bone. And then play with taking the left or the right heel away from the left hamstring. So you kind of have to play a little bit with how far you lift the heel away. So try to keep the leg in the same plane so the knee is kind of in line with the ankle and the shin. But the more you pull the heel away from you, if the knee is pulled in, you're going to feel a nice opening and maybe a release in this outer, a small muscle in the outer hip. Sometimes it gets a little neglected. So keep pulling the knee in towards the chest, kind of activating a little bit of a pigeon pose on the back, a little bit different here with the orientation of the leg. Stay with it. Breathe into where there's tension or holding. And release, hug the knee back into the chest, step the right foot down, and then bend the left knee, bring the left knee down. And then reach for your blocks. If you have two, bring them to your side. And the feet will be about hip width distance here. Press through the feet and lift the hips up. Slide one block underneath the sacrum. And then the arms can relax. So stay here. We're looking for the block to be underneath the sacrum. So it's not underneath the lumbar curve or the curve of the low back, but it's not all the way underneath the butt or the seat. So make sure that it's on that triangular, hard, bony part of your spine that's just above the tailbone. You'll feel a nice kind of support or landing once you find the right spot. So play around with the block and make sure you've got it in the right spot. If this feels okay, take your second block and lift the seat again or the hips again and place the second block on the lowest, flattest setting underneath the hips. And then the arms can hang heavy here. And notice the opening in the fronts of the legs, the hip flexors and the quads. If you feel good here and like you're not getting that much of an opening in the quadriceps, go ahead and lift your left knee and then point your toe and tuck your toe so the top of the foot comes to rest outside of the left side of your block. You can use the left hand to kind of tuck the toe, and the knee then will fall forward a little bit here, almost like a half virasana on the blocks, and you should feel more of an opening in the front of the left leg. If you're feeling quite open here, go ahead and stay where you are. And And then release this left leg. Use the left hand to support, pull the heel towards the seat, and then lift the knee and step the foot back down. We'll take it on the right side as well. Lift the knee and point the toe, and then slide the toe back to the outer edge of your right side of the block. Catch the foot and the ankle, the top of the foot and the ankle with the right hand, and just slide the top of the foot to rest outside that block. And you'll feel a nice opening in the front of the right leg. Stay with your breath. And then take the right hand to the outer right ankle. Pull the heel towards the seat, and as you lift the knee, and then release the foot. Press down through the feet and remove one block. Adjust the single block a little bit towards the heels to find the sacrum again. We'll just incrementally lower ourselves back down. And then lift again and remove this block so the sacrum comes all the way to the mat. Heel toe the feet a little wider than the hips. Let the knees knock in. And then just cross the arms over the chest. Right arm crosses in front. The eyes can close here. Open and close the mouth. Unclench the jaw. And then switch the other arm on top. Just let the hands dangle completely and rest down by the shoulder blades. From here, release and take the elbows a little bit wider. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. I'm going to leave you here in this constructive rest. Stay for another minute or so, just feeling the body breathe. Thank you so much for joining today. Namaste, yogis. The perfect next practice to check out is my cool down yoga right here on YouTube. Let yourself wind down from this practice. Give it a watch and let me know how you feel.